All right, so we are here in Spartanburg, South Carolina at a beautiful Marriott Hotel. I am Justin Ayers for Not For Long Media, and I am joined by Jack Connell, the man himself. So we're going to be doing a quick, 5-10 minute recap of our travels down here to South Carolina and talk all about what we've been doing down here at Spartanburg at Carolina Panthers training camp for Not For Long Media. So this was a Saturday night when we're taping this. We've had a great Friday practice. We had a great, it was a back-together Saturday.
Back-together Saturday, pushed up to Saturday morning. It was a beautiful practice today, nice overcast. Wasn't as hot as Friday, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool what the NFL is doing with that whole, branding of that. But, this is my second year in Spartanburg for Panthers training camp. I came down here by myself last year. We did probably half a dozen player interviews. It was pure chaos. I loved every second of it. And this year, we were fortunate to be joined by some of Colin's very good friends on Friday. I got to interview four-time Pro Bowl punter Johnny Hekker. It was fantastic. Just a guy's guy. I would love to have him on for a lot longer than I had him. And then Miles Hartsfield, great safety that the Carolina Panthers have. Also fellow podcaster. The things you find out on these trips, it's fantastic. So big fan of Miles and Johnny Hekker. But Jack, So you've never been on a plane before. Let's back it up. You've never flown before.
Correct.
And this is a big deal for you. So talk about that experience of coming down and any nerves that you might have had.
I honestly really wasn't nervous in the slightest. So I'm from the same area that Colin grew up, so he scheduled all the flights and everything, and he knew it was my first flight, so he put me out Trenton Mercer, which is, if you're up from that area, literally probably one of the world's smallest airports. 3 terminals. Walked right downstairs, probably got to my flight gate in total 5 minutes, TSA and all. So it was perfect. Took off. We got down there 30 minutes earlier than expected, which also was annoying because we ended up having to sit there for about 20 minutes because we were so early. But got out there into the massive Charlotte airport, met up with you in your beautiful rental minivan SUV-esque vehicle, and then we hit the road. But yeah.
Yeah. It was great. I was supposed to have had a Honda Accord. And then at the rental car desk, they're like, all right, it's in space J13. And I get there, there's a family of 5 in my rental car already. I'm like, all right, that's not mine. And then they're like, well, it's yours. Just go back and tell them it's yours. And then I went up there to tell him, and he was already gone. So I was like, I need a car. So they said, how about a Kia Soul? And I said, how about you go to hell? And then, no, I did not say that. But they gave me a Ford Edge. I figured that was a pretty good middle ground. Yeah. For a rental car.
It's done us well. It's pretty well drivable.
It's gold. It's not my first choice of a color.
It's a rental car. I mean, you can't really be.
And I'm driving it like a rental, so take that for what it's worth. But yeah, I love to drive down from Charlotte to Spartanburg. It's just straight shot. I love the South. Everything down here. Just the people are awesome. I love everything about coming down here for training camp. So. Really getting to live it up down here. So yeah, Friday we get in early. We get set up. We walk around. We see Colin coming in practice. Last year he did the "I'm Feeling Dangerous" video for us, which I thought was very funny. Last year the Carolina Panthers were doing a joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens, and I got to wave hello and say good morning to my BFF John Harbaugh. Harbs is what I call him. We're just tight like that.
Tight in it.
Yeah, we're just 2 peas in a pod. Harbs and I are. So, but that was last year. No joint practice, just Panthers this year. Did you like seeing some of the guys, stretching, warming up, and then, doing some 7-on-7? Had you seen anything like that before?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I've never been to an NFL practice. I've been to Eagles games, stuff like that. Having played and been around friends that played in college and stuff, it really wasn't. I guess it was just larger people, more oriented and well done, just not many hiccups or anything like that. But I mean, it was nice to watch, I've grown up around all of this type of stuff, and seeing it in the full final form of the NFL was definitely a blast.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool last year. And last year I spent a lot of time, trying to get myself situated, figure out where I'm going to stand. This year I had a better idea, so I was able to soak it in more, I feel like, in year 2. Year 3, I'm just going to be super calm, cool, Cali chill. It's what Miles Hartsfield said about Matt Corral. He said he's Cali chill. 2 Ole Miss guys there, but we'll get to them in a second. So we're watching practice, and then we go out and we do a little cool fan TikTok. We're just walking around, talking to the fans, asking them if they can recognize Colin by just a picture of him. So be on the lookout for that TikTok. It's very, very funny. Not one kid, immediate. I was like, who's this? He's like, Colin Thompson. I'm like, you are the man. So there's some fans out there that know the boy.
Dude, they're dedicated down here in Spartanburg. I've never seen anything like it. If you go up to even up in Philly, how diehard they are, and you ask them with tight end 3 if it's Jack Stoll or Richard Rodgers, you're probably met with deadpan stares.
Yeah.
And they're diehard. So I'm impressed that just off of visual, no number, nothing, just his face.
Yeah. Who's this? Colin Thompson. Boom.
It's impressive.
One kid thought he was a quarterback. So
He did think, but I mean, listen, he's got stocky build of a quarterback, got like a Josh Allen tall,
yeah,
long shoulder type.
Josh Allen. That's what first thing I think of when I think of Colin. Just Josh Allen. So we did that, and then practice wrapping up. We grab all the stuff: 2 cameras, 2 tripods, 2 sets of mics, double barrel interview. I had Hecker and Hartsfield. Colin got to talk to Bradley Bozeman a little bit, and Reese Scharoff, the new Carolina Panthers play-by-play radio guy. So those were great. And then who came over and talked to us for a little bit?
Oh, we had some great visual guest stuff.
Casual. Yeah.
We had a great cameraman. I think his name was Baker.
Yeah.
Is that what he said his name was? Yeah. He's helping out behind the camera and then doing a little makeup for us. It was great. He was a little great help. Maybe we'll bring him on as an intern and down the line. But yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy Sam, I think he said he was a big fan of us. Wanted to take a picture with us. So
yeah, it was the other way around. Yeah, they came up. They were like, "Oh my God, it's Justin and Jack from Not For Long Media. Can we get a picture with you?" It wasn't the opposite. It wasn't. That's how it went.
Exactly.
For everybody watching at home. No, we met Baker and Sam, and I almost crapped myself.
You did. You were very. That's your idol right there. Between upcoming interviews of guests we cannot disclose at this time, you've been having one hell of a time these last couple weeks.
Look, I'm not ashamed. I fumbled the bag when I met him. He said, "Hi, I'm Baker," and I looked at him and I couldn't. I just said the word Baker. I didn't even say didn't even say Justin. I just said Baker. I was like, "I'm Justin. I'm Justin." So just 2015. Walked on at Oklahoma. Took the starting job from Trevor Knight, who had just beaten Alabama in the Sugar Bowl the year before. Comes in, underdog mentality. He's too small. Didn't get the gap in his teeth fixed, which I respect. Won the starting job. Heisman, #1 overall pick. Like this guy, playoff game winner. He's just everything you want in a quarterback, and just came up, just casually said hey, and I was as starstruck as I think I'll ever be. I don't think there's anybody else that I can meet in this life or the next that I would be as starstruck. So not ashamed to admit. When I met Max Scherzer, he was on the Nationals, and the first thing I was so starstruck when I met him, I said I love you, and he was like, thanks. And I was like, I meant to say I'm a big fan.
Yeah, that dude, the SpongeBob. He's like, "Hi, Kevin."
It was that. Yeah, it was hi, Kevin. So yeah, that was Friday, and then today back together Saturday. We got to watch practice. Got moved up from the night practice, which I'm ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I really wish it would have been at night. You know what I mean? Like I feel like under the lights, the music would have been bumping, so they moved it to 11 a.m. So we're just sitting in hot humidity. What did you think about back together Saturday?
It was nice. I like the overall vibes. They had the dancers, the drummers, the great Sir Purr were all out there. We got to see the guys walking up again. We got to say hi to some of our guests from the other day. Some former guests in the past. Shout out JJ Jansen.
JJ.
Of course, the great Colin Thompson as well. And
Yep.
It was blessed.
Yeah, that's the cool part. I think it's easy because we wore the same polos as we did yesterday. So Johnny Hecker came up and was like, "Justin." It's like, nailed it.
Yeah.
Wearing the same exact thing I wore yesterday. But no, I think Johnny would have gotten that right regardless. But yeah, I think we're starting.
He misspelled my name. I think he mispronounced my last name about 5 times. When he was trying to meet me, he's like, Connell? Or I'm like, Connell? He's like, Connor? And he's like, no, Connell? And
I just wouldn't even correct him. Whatever the first thing you said was. Yeah. Jack Conklin. So yeah, we did that. They walked down the tunnel, said hi to all the guests. We watched practice. We took some really cool action shots of the boy Colin blocking. You said a lot of football terms of the play that he did. Don't know what any of those mean. You're like, he's a single wing tailback and an X.
He was a wing back doing a pull block on a passing play. That was your astute football analysis from Not For Long Media. The real deep dive X's and O's.
That's why they listen to this podcast, is for stuff like that.
The Big J journalists.
Yeah. There was a lot of big J's going on today, but we sat right next to the NFL Network, which is cool.
I hung out with a guy named Steve.
Steve Smith. Yeah, we saw Steve Smith. I think I couldn't recognize anybody else on their crew.
I really didn't get a good glance. I was too busy looking at our commander-in-chief doing his pull blocks on passing plays.
So, did that. Tomorrow, game plan, probably talk to some more people, bank a couple more interviews, maybe a group interview, Maybe a little more focused this time. Everything will be kind of more structured. But this has been great. Year 2 of many for me, year 1 of many for you. Having a great time, and I just, I really enjoyed coming down here. So we got to say shout out to boy Colin for having us both down here. He's the best. So any final thoughts?
Shout out to the Panthers at all for they're a great organization. They've helped us out a bunch of all of these interviews and stuff like that. So shout out to them as well.
Yes. Shout out Dylan Love, Panthers PR legend. So it's been great. So with that, we'll sign off, and we'll send it back to you in the studio, Colin.